Hi, I'm Katie. You have reached us at Elle Studio and Wellness in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Today is yoga for back pain, or yoga for back care, or yoga for back aches. There are many different origins of where back pain can come from. So today we're going to discover a few different places. Some of them being within the space of the core, some of them being within the space of the joints, the mobility. Maybe a little bit of mindful blockages, and we're going to be discovering a few different practices that are great for people with bulging discs, herniated discs, as well as degenerative disc diseases, any sort of scoliosis, and maybe your back pain is just due to lack of moving or muscle related. So again, this is going to be a place where you're going to be able to figure out exactly where the pain is coming from, what relieves it, so that you know where your journey lies ahead. What you can essentially Google or YouTube for health and well-being of your spine going forward. So let's all come up to our chair here. We're also going to need about 2 blankets, maybe 3 blankets. Clear space or a yoga mat, and again, coming up to standing. And we're first going to find our back mudra with our hands. So there is actually something called a back mudra, and that's what it's called, the back mudra. Okay, so it's used with your right hand and your left hand. Okay, and for the sake of mirroring, my right hand will be my left hand. So the way that my hands look to you is the way that you should be positioning your hands. Okay. So with the left hand, you're going to want to go ahead and bring your first fingertip into your thumb. So instead of your fingertip touching your thumb tip, you want to curl that thumb over the first fingernail. Okay? And then on your right hand, you're going to be curling in your middle finger and your pinky, and those tips all will be touching. Okay? So go ahead and find the positioning of your hands first here, okay? And if you're struggling with the right hand, just go ahead and kind of stretch out a little bit. Okay, this is called a back mudra. So this may be showcasing a little bit of issue going on. Okay? And we're going to hang out here for a little bit of our breath practice. Okay? So go ahead and close your eyes. Take some nice big breaths in. Nice breaths out. Just allowing that hand mudra to work its subtle magic on the system. Recognizing how you have to kind of move the fingers a little bit, how they may shake and shiver and quiver, or helping you soften. And we're going to bring some breath into the spine, visualizing breath into the spine. So if you need to, maybe scoot forward with your chair a little bit. Find that sometimes we tend to arch that lower back, so try to eliminate a really big curve in your lower back, kind of more or less flattening it out. You want to keep some small curve in your lower back, so just find that nice middle ground space where you don't feel any pain or ache. And then visualizing this nice big long line of energy, or like somebody's got a string at the top of your head and pulling that string up so that you're visualizing this space, this gap in between each vertebrae. So starting with the tailbone, recognizing that it's slightly tucked under. Moving up, back to the hips. Feeling that sense of widening, that sense of lift in the lower spine. So you find the lift and the space of widening in the middle back, middle spine, and breaths. That space in between the shoulder blades. And space at the back of the upper back and shoulders, beneath the vertebrae, just at the very base of the neck. And really feel space and length and this widening sensation of the back of the neck all the way up to the base of your skull. And again, feeling this nice long line of energy out through the top of your head, maybe almost the back of the top of the head. Nice breaths. Asking the spine to join us in our practice today. In our practice, finding this widening perspective of the spine, the stability of the spine, this flexibility of the spine, and the strength of the spine inside and outside of our body. More breaths. Final recognition. The quality of our life is not defined by the quality of our body. We can visualize ourselves being so much more, thus we become so much more. We become the embodiment of ourself, and its true self. Ahead and softly release your mindfulness practice. Go ahead, kind of lick the lips, swallow anything that's settled to the back of the throat. Now open up that jaw a little bit, move it around, and start moving that neck a little bit around. Okay, be careful. You feel any spot of tension, just roll that head a little bit back and forth. And going ahead, bringing your head back to center, and then slowly start opening up your eyes to the room, to the space. Nice big breath, but keep that spine nice and erect. Okay, anytime we quote unquote release anything, usually we find a slumpiness. Let's not do that today. Okay, so as we move, let's go ahead and keep that spine nice and erect, nice and tall. Okay. Let's take the chair to the side for a moment and grab a blanket. If you've taken my classes, I'm a huge fan of this heel release. It just does so much for the body. Okay. And toes on the blanket, heels back to the floor. So you can be extremely wobbly here. Again, trying to find that origin of any sort of back issues. It's just working out the knees, working out the heels, saying hello to your hamstrings. And if this is too much for you, you kind of need to lean forward into this, go ahead and start there. Okay, and then you're slowly just going to start to move yourself up to a nice tall stance. Anybody with herniated or bulging discs, just take this one nice and easy here. Okay. So you're gonna go ahead and just bend your knees slightly. Okay. And then you can either go to your chair here. Okay. And just starting to kind of bend and straighten your legs a little bit. So bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Okay, just take it real easy here. Close your eyes and focus on your spine. Recognizing that we're starting to stretch out all the muscles that connect to some greater muscles that connect the lower spine to the bottom half of your body here. And then go ahead and release that head down all the way as long as it feels comfortable for you. Okay. Nice bend in your knees as you need to, dropping that head forward. And I want you to take really big breaths into your back body. Okay, so feeling like you breathe into the back of your hips, the lower back, the middle back, the upper back. You can breathe into the back of your neck, back of your head. Just imagine it. And making space as you need to. So any prenatal mamas out there, please, you would have known this already by the size of the tummy. Taking your feet nice and wide apart. Welcome the sensations of relieving the muscles as they release. Breath in to feel that widening expansion of the back space of the spine. And then slowly starting to curl up one vertebrae at a time. Again, if you have herniated or bulging discs, you might want to come up with a straight back, coming all the way up. Stay with the balance here. Go nice and slow, letting the body catch up. And let's reach those arms out and up. Okay, keep a nice length, that visualization of that tall spine, which may mean that you bring your chin parallel to the floor instead of turning your nose up. So keeping your chin parallel to the floor. And then hands together down to your heart space. Okay, so let's do that again. So reaching those arms out and up. Feel that widening, that broadening against your back. Hands to heart space, and then bending those knees slightly if you need to. Folding forward with a nice straight back. Bring your hands to your chair or to the floor. Bending your knees as you need to. Drop your head completely down. One nice, really big breath into your back space. The whole length of your back, from your tailbone to the top of your head. Then a nice straight back. So reaching those arms forward, nice straight back, come on up. Okay, as you rise on up, that shin remains parallel to the floor. Opening up those arms, and now let's lean back a little bit if possible. So find some space of lift in your upper spine. And then go ahead and release. Okay, so let's go ahead, step back from your blanket, and let's do that again. So this is a nice practice for anybody with herniated or bulging discs. Okay, reaching those arms out and up. If that feels good for you, you might want to take your arms out to a goal post. Okay, and just check out the tailbone here for a moment. Okay, we might want to kick those hips back. Okay, and open up at the front. This does feel really nice for the body. Usually we're telling you not to do this, okay? It's really feeling that C curve in the back. but make sure that you can still breathe. So keeping that chin somewhat forward. And then go ahead and release. And now, while you're standing, feel like somebody is pulling that tailbone down and then slightly pulling your head forward. Okay, so this is extremely subtle action here. So inhaling, again, taking those arms back, arching the back, and then exhaling, releasing your arms, and then feeling like somebody's tucking that tailbone under, and then tucking that chin. Okay, one more time. Remember, you're finding length, widening, stability and flexibility of the spine. And exhaling, tucking that tailbone under, tucking that chin under. And go ahead and release. Okay, so let's grab our chair again. And we're going to find the chair facing the inside of your yoga mat. We're going to go ahead and take our left foot forward and our right foot back. Okay, so your thigh is resting on the chair. So I've got no energy that I'm exerting here. Okay? And what I want us to do is recognize that this has all to do with the pelvis, with the groin, with the legs here, okay? And we're going to find the stability, that flexibility and strength with the back, okay? So what I want us to do here is to find a space of groundedness with the feet first. So pressing your feet down into the floor to recognize that you can kind of come up from your chair a little bit and then go ahead and sit back down. Okay, let's do that one more time. So hands to your hips if you need to. Just kind of lift up a little bit. And then go ahead, settle back down. Okay. So what I want us to do is now moving to a space that can be healthy for scoliosis. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and lift that left arm up. And we're going to extend over towards that extended leg. So you can look down, head straight. If your neck feels okay, you can look up. So really finding a nice C curve now in the side of your body, but your legs are supported here. So picture your spine. Find that lift, that length, readjust yourself as you need to. And find that curve. Breathe into your spine. Just visualize it. And then come on up. And let's bring that left elbow to your left knee. And now reach that right arm up. Extend it over if you want to. Head in a comfortable position. And then going back up. Okay. So now we're going to have a little conversation with our legs. Okay. So what I want us to do is I want us to go ahead. We're going to stretch out the front of the body here. So doing a little bit of a back bend. Okay, but we're going to have to grab this foot first. So go ahead and just kind of hold on your chair. Have a conversation with your body. Okay. Grab that back leg. And then make sure that this right knee is moving down to the floor from your right hip. And figure out, does your hand want to move on the outside of the leg or the inside of the leg? And we're going to hang out here and we're just going to play around with the heel. Okay? So if this doesn't work, if you can't hold onto your ankle, hold onto your pant leg or grab a strap or a towel. So flexing through the heel and then pointing through the toe. Flexing through the heel, pointing through the toe. And again, the total focus is on the front of the hip here. Okay? ahead and release. Okay, let's sit naturally on our chair here and find a little bit of a twist to the left. Okay, so again, channeling that nice tall spine, feet firmly grounded here. Okay, find a lift as you start rotating. And here's the bonus point as you're rotating at the lower ribs here. So you lift, kind of rotate the ribs, and then the arms follow. Okay? Don't crank yourself over. Breathe flexibility into your spine. So as you inhale, you kind of back off on your twist a little bit, and then as you exhale, you welcome the distance between each vertebrae into your practice, and then twist. Inhale, back off a little bit, and then exhale, and a deeper twist. Inhale, back off. Exhale, twist. So take a few breaths here and find your own postures. And exhale, back to center. I know you want to release. If you want to release, go for it. Slightly recommend, let's just keep moving forward, okay? Because I know you all feel like you want to fall forward right now, okay? So let's balance out the other side first, okay? So now moving the chair, and station, or moving the station of your feet, okay? And again, take an internal visualization of this posture from your spine, not from your legs. Okay? So really plant those feet down and feel like you can kind of rock forward a little bit and come on up. Okay? And then back down. Do that 2 more times. And down. So go ahead, and we're going to find extension back first. Okay? So go ahead and kind of situate yourself so that this back left hip is really opening up here. Okay? And then you're finding this nice extension, kind of like you're in between. I know this is cliche to say, but in between 2 panes of glass. You can really only go one direction. You can't turn or do any of that. Okay? So you're in between 2 panes of glass. So just give it a shot. Okay? It's super cliche for yoga teachers to say, but there is some benefit to that. Okay? So extending and finding this posture from the eyes of your spine. So really curling that spine. And do as you want to with your neck. And release. Now bringing your right elbow to your right knee. And again, opening up the whole front of the body. Okay, so it's easy for us to feel like we want to take this top arm forward, but really, again, visualize yourself in between those 2 panes of glass so that you keep that top arm back a little bit. Shoulders down away from the ears. And visualize this posture from your spine. It'll take you another 10 to 20% further, I guarantee it. And up. So let's go ahead and sit in our chair. Okay, so now we're going to twist in the opposite direction. Okay, so again, closing the eyes, finding that nice tall seat as we did in the very beginning and a few times since. Take a nice big breath, bringing your hands to your ribs. And then twisting, almost like your hands are taking your ribs and turning them to the side. Okay? Backing off a little bit, take a breath. And then exhale, twisting a little bit deeper at the ribs. Go ahead, take your hands down to anything that you can kind of hold on to. Don't hold on to dear life though, okay? And if you're having an issue with your knees too, this can be extremely beneficial by having a block or a big blanket in between your knees, okay? Just to show you something kind of like this, okay? Because then that will eliminate any issues that you have with your lower body, okay? So go ahead, take a nice big breath, back off a little bit, and then exhale. Start to twist, and find that twist occurring in the lower back, middle back, upper back, the neck, if that feels good. Out through the top of the head. Inhale, back off a little bit, and exhale, twisting a little bit deeper each time. You're not forcing the issue. Don't force the issue, okay? Every breath is a window of opportunity just to get a little bit deeper into the space that the in-breath has created. So inhale, space. Exhale into the depth. And go ahead and release. Okay, you're feeling it. Now it's okay to go ahead and fold forward, okay? Let's go ahead, just take your knees out to the side and go ahead and just fold forward. Oh. Do whatever you want to with your arms, with your hands. Oh. Okay. Then coming back up again. Okay, and now let's go ahead and stretch out the other thigh. Okay, so turning towards the right. Having a conversation to grab that leg. So bring your leg forward and then swing it back if that best suits you. Okay. And again, let's stretch out the front of that hip joint. Okay. So go ahead, kind of figure out this pose from your spine. What feels good here? You tell me. Okay. And then let's go ahead and just kind of flex at the heel a little bit. So heel and then toe. Okay, focusing and opening up the front of that left hip joint. And maybe you don't even have to move the foot. Take some breaths. And then go ahead and release. Okay, so we'll start with the adjustment first, and then I'll show you another option. So we're going to take our pigeon pose in two different ways. You get to make your own decision. Okay? So you can first and foremost just kick your left heel up on top of your right knee. Flex that foot. Can't stress that enough. Flex that top foot, okay? And then kind of scoot back a little bit if it feels good, or if it feels better, scooting forward, okay? Okay, and go ahead, find that nice long, tall spine out through the top of your head from the base of your tailbone, okay? And envision that that spine is one long straight, either beam or pole or something that is just long, circular, that doesn't bend. And envision that your torso folds forward. It doesn't curl forward, okay? So feeling this nice sensation, this presence in the back of that left hip joint. Relax the grasp of the hands on your leg. And then when you're ready, come on up. And let's switch. Okay. And maybe just sitting up here is good for you. It's good for me if this is where you hang out. Okay? So again, I'm visualizing that spine is one long object that doesn't move here. Okay? That starts to fold forward. So if you need a place of reference of what is folding forward, if you're finding that your shoulders curl forward, envision that you're folding forward kind of at your chest, your chin, your chest, and your kind of solar plexus space. So they're all kind of in one line here, and then folding forward. Close your eyes, shift around in your chair as you need to. And envision that you are able to fold forward and that you're comfortable with it. Welcome the sensation occurring in that right back hip or outside of the right hip. Nice big breaths. And when you're ready, you can come on up. Okay, so we're going to do that one more time. If you want to stay up into a chair, if that was a good enough challenge for you, please, by all means, stay up here. If you want to do the pigeon pose, I'll just kind of show you that one too. Okay. And what I'm going to recommend is coming on down on your side, kind of taking that left leg forward and then rolling back to the back knee. Okay. So hanging out here, or you can do this posture in the chair. Okay. If you have any sort of herniated or bulging disc, you might feel nice and lifted here. Same with prenatal mamas. Otherwise, you could always try kind of leaning forward. Maybe you've got your elbows on this chair here. And maybe you're all the way down to the floor. And then go ahead, if you're on the floor, just lean on back a little bit. Wherever you're at, either on your floor or on your chair, just take a breath. And then come into the pigeon pose. On the other side, so either in your chair or on the floor. Next breath. And that nice long, tall, wide spine. Just visualize it coming on up, nice and stable. Just find a regular seat, wherever you're at. And let's go ahead and let's come on down to the floor. If your chair is still handy, we're not going to use it just yet. But go ahead, just kind of move it out to the side because we're just going to need the length of your yoga mat for a moment. The blanket handy, and then go ahead and come on down to the floor. So with this being back pain, back here, okay, go ahead and lie down on your side, and then let's roll back. And knees are bent, and blanket underneath your hips, so kind of dig into the floor with your heels, and bring your hips up onto your blanket. Find what feels comfortable for your back. And then we're going to do some sliding of the heels, okay? So go ahead and just start sliding one heel out. So it's going to be nice and easy on a carpet or on a floor, or maybe you've got a towel underneath your heel. And then really flex up through your heel, and then drag that heel on back. Okay, so now other leg, sliding that heel forward. Recognizing that it does take a little bit of stabilization in the core in order to do so. Flexing out through the heel, pressing that leg down, and then drawing that heel back. Again, recognizing the strength of the core that's needed in order to draw that leg back. Okay, so go ahead again, slide out. One heel. Flex out, press that leg down. Feel that space and opening on the front of the hip joint. And then try and move those core muscles towards your spine as you drag that heel back. And then one more other side. And use those core muscles to almost pull, to almost reel in that heel. So a few different options for you here. You can either grab your chair, and I recommend this for everybody, to grab your chair, okay, and you're going to bring your legs up on your chair or your couch cushion or your bed. And your spine can either be flat to the ground, or it can be lifted with just a small blanket or beach towel underneath, okay? Nothing realistically higher, okay? And if you want to, you can take this blanket now and kind of support that lower back as well as with the hips. Okay? We're going to find a nice little neck release here. So this can be done sitting up or laying down. Okay? So go ahead, just kind of take your hands to your tummy, and then I want you to press the back of your head into the floor. So press it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. And now try and keep your nose and your chin at the same plane here, and just lift your nose up to the ceiling, so it's up and away from the floor, okay? So you're not drawing your chin into your chest. Don't do that. You want to keep your nose the highest point looking at the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Right hand to the side of the head, keep that arm down to the floor. We be gentle here, and let's press head into hand, hand into head. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Left hand to the left side of the face or head. Keep that whole arm and shoulder down, and then press head into hand, hand into head. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Turn the nose to the right and keep turning that head. Pretend like you're still trying to turn that head back around, relaxing both shoulders down to the ground still. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And very softly to center. Last thing, and then we relax. So nose now to the left, and keep turning it to the left. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and to center. Oh, thank yourself for having a wonderful practice, and thank you for joining me today. Now you get to chill on out. Let's take a few minutes here. So if you don't like this posture, you can go ahead and just kind of roll on over to your side or lie all the way down to the floor. Or maybe this is too much for you. You want to hang out sitting up in your chair or sitting up against a wall. You be your own yoga teacher. Tell yourself what feels good for your back and go for it. Release any controlled breath. Allow gravity to soften the muscles and any tension. And find, if you want to, that back mudra. So again, on your right hand, it's your middle finger and your pinky with the tip of your thumb. And with your left hand, your thumb holds onto the fingernail of your first finger. inviting you to stay here if this feels great. Otherwise, to finalize the class, recognizing before you even move that this practice of these postures in which you face the challenges that you overcame and that space of self-discovery in your yoga practice continues after this is over with. So that visualization of that stable, that wide, that strong and flexible spine. The same here you showed your spine here is the same here that you give yourself permission to continue in your everyday activities. There's a hard mindset to keep. I guarantee that your spine will feel different if you keep that mindset going. So when you're ready, go ahead and start moving around if you'd like to. Start waking up, kind of stretching, whatever needs to be stretched. Take it real easy here. Rolling on over to your side if you're lying down. Take some breaths. And then using that top hand to push into the ground to help you on up to your seat. And go ahead. Take a few breaths again to psych yourself into continuing this practice. Appreciating your spine and everything that it does for you. And recognizing where your spine felt the most relief. Did it feel the most relieved when we were moving in strengthening postures or flexibility postures? Did your spine feel more relief in back bends or in forward bends? That is what you need to start diving into a little bit deeper in your next yoga practices. So thank you for allowing us to be one step along your journey. Until we meet again. Namaste.